Alright, so this is the K drama section of the podcast. As you guys know, I always talk about my K dramas first thing and foremost on these podcasts. I'm going to talk about a Korean drama called White Lights, or White Nights actually. I don't know why I wrote White Lights on here. Anyway, it's starring Lee Yowon, Uee, Jin Goo. I'm gonna read you guys a description from Wikipedia. A story of three individuals propelled by their undying greed as they clamor for wealth and power in order to reign supreme at the top of the food chain. Seo Yi-kyung, who is played by Lee Yowon, is a crystal cold of a woman who is willing to do anything for her ambitions, and she doesn't believe that greed is a sin. Park Gun-woo, played by Jin Goo, is a warm-hearted, free-spirited man of integrity and heir of a big company who got betrayed by his first love, who is Yi-kyung, 12 years ago. Lee Se-jin, played by Uee, is a hired persona and comes from a poor family. She lost her parents when she was young and desperately wants to escape from her situation. So, it was a little, bit of a description of the plotline. Now I see why I said White Lights. It's not White Lights. White Nights, the actual, title it's known more about is Nightlight, which is kind of weird title for a Korean drama. Also known as Illumination, or its Korean title, Bolyaseong. Bolyaseong? I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyways, it was originally aired on MBC way back in November 2016. It was acquired and currently available on Netflix. So, I'm just going to refer to it as White Nights from now on, because I think that's the least cringy title. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of Korean dramas that have, very cringy, English titles, which, by this point, after years and years of watching Korean dramas, I really don't mind, but calling it Nightlife is just kind of, weird. So, I get why Netflix just took the initiative to rename it to something more kind of cool sounding. So I'm gonna call it White Nights, or I might make the mistake first part of what I just said that called it White Light. But White Nights. So this is one of those Korean dramas that you just kind of accidentally discover on Netflix, which is what happened to me. When you're looking for, it's under the category of suggestions that's strong female lead, which is true. Actually, Yi-kyung's, played by Lee Yowon, is a very, very strong female lead. She is kind of Devil Wears Prada, kind of alpha female character, and she, even right in the beginning, okay, this girl is gonna be the lead, because you see her character, just the first scene, you're like, dang, this lady has balls. She's just all shots firing forward, and she's very brash, yet very I wouldn't say straightforward, but just a very strong character. It is one of the very few, I would say, Korean dramas that I've watched that really passed the Bechdel test, which is, if you're not familiar, it's kind of this standard they have in film and TV where there's enough female interaction that they talk about not about their relationships or men or anything, and it's just relationships between women, which for a Korean drama set in 2000s, it's pretty good. It did pretty well. What was I going to talk about? Oh, first of all, I'm going to talk about the cast. Lee Yowon, she's best known for playing the titular, is that how you pronounce that? Anyway, she plays the main lead in Queen Seondok, which is a historical drama about another strong female, like a very important queen in Korean history. Um, she does very well in looking like that type of woman that's just vicious, full of ambition, business driven. She's like ready to break like the ceiling, or is it a glass ceiling? I'm not sure if you call it glass ceiling. Is it? Anyway, I'm asking a lot of questions in this podcast. Not that I haven't really gone through and thought about like what I was gonna say, but there's just a lot of questions popping in my mind at the moment. Um, anyways, she definitely is out there to break the ceiling. I'm gonna talk about that again, maybe a little bit later about that ceiling. Anyway, one thing I noticed though while I was watching this Korean drama, since I was binge watching it, so you're I feel like whenever you're binge watching a Korean drama, you just have all the information just getting repeatedly like hit you like through the screen because you're watching like episode after episode and after episode when, ideally when they're still airing, they're building like cliffhangers and you're not, you're waiting like a week before you're going to find out what's going to happen. So because I am watching this I pretty much binge watch it. So I was kind of like, it's a bit heavy when you're watching it. Anyway, the reason why I mentioned that is because Lee Yowon, I haven't really watched her in a lot of Korean dramas. I feel like the last time I've seen her in a Korean drama was way back in the 2000s. I think it was like 2006, 2007 when she was in Surgeon Bong Dal-hee, which I vaguely remember the plot because one, it was such a long time ago. And I kind of remember it wasn't a very memorable plot. It was like a medical drama, but it wasn't like extremely memorable. I remember kind of like watching it while I was in college. And I mean, I think I also binge watched that drama, but it was okay, but it's not a memorable plot, and even the characters weren't very, very memorable. Anyways, I think that was the last time I actually saw her in a Korean drama. I remember a few years back, she was in this drama called Fashion 70s, which I did not watch. It was just not my cup of tea. But yeah, so I feel like I don't know as much as I need to know about Lee Yowon as an actress, but in this Korean drama, in particular in White Nights, she has this weird, just awkward way of walking during the scene. So with this Korean drama, there's a lot of scenes where the secondary characters go see her in an office, or she meets with like some powerful politician or business person, and she's supposed to look like domineering. I'm like the queen bee, a very strong, connected, like businesswoman who's out to rule the world. And she does it okay with her face, but she has this just odd way of walking. Like usually on the scene, you'll see her dressed like very nice, like very business, like not necessarily all the time in a pantsuit, but her fashion's like, it's pretty good. It's like very corporate. You're just like, oh yeah, this is a businesswoman. It's like a serious businesswoman. But and she always usually has like a purse, like a large purse. You kind of know in Korean dramas when their characterizations based on their purse. This is a theory I have about Korean dramas. Since I'm a long time avid viewers of Korean dramas since like 2005, 2006. Usually they give like the not cutesy, but younger characters that are not supposed to be like all powerful and bitchy. They give them like small kind of petite purses. But when it's like serious businesswoman or I'm a powerful woman in this drama, I'm gonna have like a huge ass purse that can fit files. So That's pretty much what she mostly carries. I don't know why I noticed this, but I do. Like I said, I have a lot of weird like theories about like cliches in Korean dramas. One of them is purses. So yeah, there you go. Not gonna copyright that, but it is one of those weird random things that I notice in Korean dramas. So she looks fine. She carries her purse. She sits down on the office like couch that always seems like it's not comfy, but I guess it is comfy. And then whoever she's confronting, like the chairman or the CEO or the 사장님, the president guy, I meant, is always seated like in the top like seat, and then she's usually like, if she's not like the top person in that scene or something, she's usually off to the side. But the way she kind of portrays being domineering is very odd, and it shows on her, like I said, her facial expressions are fine, but it shows very awkwardly on the way she walks, because she kind of has this weird stomp, bouncy kind of walk. I don't know if this is a deliberate choice by Lee Yowon. Like I said, she's not one of those Korean actresses that I'm very familiar with. But I don't know if it's a choice she did in portraying this character. I don't know if she, made a choice with her acting and be like, I'm gonna like walk out of here and stomp with my purse all like, bouncy and stuff. It's really weird. I don't know. So the main thing about it is that maybe it's just me who noticed it, but because she stomps, and her like gait is a little bit weird while she's like either entering or exiting a scene. Like it's supposed to be like a very tense showdown scene between her and whoever the old like ajushi character was corrupt and powerful that she's supposed to confront and like fight against or something verbally or like politically or manipulate into doing something. But she walks in and you first see her, she's like stomping into the room, and then she sits down, puts her purse down. They start the scene and stuff. So for me, it kind of takes me out of the scene because I noticed this weird thing about purses and also her walk. Pretty much like it makes her look like a petulant child, like she's a toddler having a tantrum, which is not the image I kind of want to have in my brain while I'm supposed to be empathizing with this woman who is trying to reach the top echelons of like the business and political world in South Korea. So, and she just looks very weird doing it. I've said weird like 4 or 5 times, but it is very weird. Awkwardly because she stomps and it looks